we now take a quick look at the international forecast. Thanks for watching and do have a wonderful weekend.
Well, thank you, Hadi. Before we go, a reminder of headlines. The Gambia and Senegal have signed a memorandum of understanding on the $100 million Trans-Gambia Bridge and cross-border improvement project. ECOWAS parliamentarians meeting in Banjul have wrapped up proceedings after successfully reviewing a gender strategy paper. Egypt is gathering military headway in the Sinai ahead of an onslaught against insurgents suspected of killing 16 bodyguards in the area. And security officials in Russia have announced the discovery of an underground Muslim sect in the Republic of Tatarstan. You can monitor Grts radio live on www.grts.gm. That brings us to the end of the news. Thank you very much for your time. On behalf of the news team, have a good night.
Hello and welcome to this forum. A couple of days ago, now day 5, ECOWAS parliamentarians have been meeting here in Banjul on the ECOWAS Parliamentary Gender Strategy paper. And in the studio today, I have with me Honorable Hadi Nyang Jan, who is the president of ECOFEBA, the ECOWAS Female Parliamentary Association. She's also a member of the National Assembly here in the Gambia. Honorable Jan, welcome.
Thank you very
to the forum. Also with me is Theodore Momo, the first rapporteur for Committee on Gender, ECOWAS. Welcome.
Thank you.
He's a senator in the Liberian Parliament. Habia Ayad Nicodem, chairman of Gender Committee of ECOWAS. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And finally, but not the least, is Honorable Stephen Yakubu, member of Health from ECOWAS.
Okay.
And he is from Ghana. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said in the preamble, 5 days you have been meeting in Banjul and deliberating on the ECOWAS Parliamentary Gender Strategy. Madam Honorable Jan, if I may begin with you. This is not new. Gender parity in the Gambia is not new. And you're hosting your colleagues from the sub-region. What has been the main discussion during the week?
Thank you very much, Malik. We are most delighted to be here with my colleagues from the sub-region. In fact, it is a joint committee, the Committee on Health and Social Services, and also the Committee on Gender. They made this joint meeting, and it's not the first time. Gambia, as you rightly said, is known because of the President's proactive measures in women development and empowerment for women in the Gambia to realize their full potential. Because of such, it has resonated around the sub-region, around Africa, around the world at large. As a result, the Gender Committee at the ECOWAS Parliament, none of the Gambian members are members of the committees, but still, because of the proactive measures of the President, they always choose the Gambia as their venue for this meeting of the gender, because of his, as I already said, because of his proactive measures. So thank you very much. It is on gender, and we all know that the recognition of gender equity and equality as imperatives for the sustainable development of the sub-region. Hence, the heads of states have put in mechanisms to enhance gender equality and equity in this sub-region. Hence, that is also translated in the signing of various international and regional and sub-regional mechanisms, so that we will be able to disseminate gender, mainstream it in all our development agendas. Key among those instruments are the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women. They've also signed the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. the Protocol of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and the Rights of Women in Africa, UN Resolution 1325, the Millennium Development Goals, AU Solemn Declaration on Gender Equality in Africa, and the Maputo Plan of Action.
We'll come back to you to deliberate on that, but gentlemen, let me just quickly come to you. What is the embodiment of this ECOWAS Parliamentary Agenda Strategy paper? What does it embody?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here in Gambia, a country we share so much in common. And for the record, let me just, as a Liberian, pay respect to the people of the Gambia for the overwhelming support in our country achievement of peace and security. As you know, the Gambian troops were deployed back in the 80s and 90s in Liberia under ECOMOG, and we still owe the people of Gambia a debt of gratitude. I must register my profound gratitude to this country for your sacrifice and your love for Africa and the sub-region. The past 4 days have been hectic. We have had to contextualize the draft strategy on gender within these 4 days and bring it back home and see how we can foster an implementation that is realistic, that is pragmatic, and that addresses the needs of our people in terms of gender and gender balance, gender inequalities, and how we bring the girl child or the women on par with the male counterpart. It has come a long way, as the Honorable from the Gambia rightfully said. Our countries are signatories to international conventions, and these conventions were sort of harmonized and contextualized into an ECOWAS revised treaty, so that at the sub-regional level, there is an instrument, there is a policy, there is a program that comes with all of the concerns, with all of the issues. And I must say for the record that gender issues are prevalent all over West Africa. They are the same, no matter whether the region is Francophone, Anglophone, or Lusophone. The issue of gender inequalities, gender imbalance, gender parities are all over the place. And so what we have done over the 4 days is to look at the context of this strategy and delve into the very basic part, the components that help us to reach out to governments across the sub-region and force them to implement those aspects of the strategy that goes to the heartbeat of the problem. And what is the heartbeat of the problem? Gender mainstreaming. We are not saying that the issue of gender only concerns women, but for a long time, there is an orchestrated system of marginalization that we must admit. It comes from perhaps our history, our colonial past, in our educational sector, in our political and governance system. There are inequalities. So what we've done is to agree to the text that brings about the closing up of the gap between the girl child and the boy child. How do we do that? We have targeted education, basic education, open up opportunities for the girl. And not only opening up opportunity, but it goes as far as training, education, economics, that's business, and it goes into the system of governance. How can women be part of decision-making processes in their various countries? It's also about gender mainstreaming. So it's an embodiment of a systematic program that brings about gender mainstreaming, so that the women are seen as valuable partners in our development program and are brought on board the system of governance, decision-making, education, health, and the rest of them.
Thank you, Senator. Let me come very quickly to Honorable Nicodem. It's so good about going to Parliament, sitting down, make legislation.